I switched to keyboard and mouse 30 days ago as a hybrid player, and this is a story of how I went from this to this. Make sure you just go JKC in the Fortnite item shop if you're not already, and let me know down in the comments if you're using it. And let's get right into it. I've already released this first 7 days video, but I'm going to recap the first 7 days in this video anyway. On day 1 I got bullied and it's very depressing. I kept dying over and over again. On to day 2. On day 2 I did a bit of free building. I was getting used to my bind, just learning how to build again after taking a massive long break. I also played some PvP realistic, which I did pretty poorly in, and played some Biozone Wars. I got 1 or 2 kills in. On day 3 I started playing a little bit better. I played some Ken Beans realistics and actually hit some passable clips. I was still struggling a little bit on my binds and kept opening my loadout. Overall, a big improvement from day 3, I actually switched to stretch res. On day 4 I still had some problems with crouching, switching loadouts, switching to heals, switching to my loadout unintentionally still, and it was just a little bit rough. But I was getting better mechanically. On day 5 I had a pretty terrible day because I was thinking about the cash cup that was on day 6. I was going to do the cash cup on keyboard after 6 days of being on keyboard and mouse. So day 5 went terrible. Day 6 the cash cup went very well surprisingly, finished on 236 points, and I was really happy with the way I was playing. I made it out like day 7 was the perfect fairy tale ending and I was suddenly the best keyboard player on earth. But in reality I just used my best clips. Things were a long way from perfect, and we're going to crack that in this video. I was hitting some good clips in box fights though, and I actually released a montage, friends montage, that was full of just keyboard clips, and some of them weren't half bad. But what happened after day 7? So I started off by taking a pretty decently large break. A break that pretty much robbed me of half my keyboard skill. I came back on stream about 5 days later and I was completely awful. I'd forgotten all my binds and I was a mess. This wasn't going to stop me though. I needed a way that I could play keyboard but make it so it wouldn't interfere with my content, and I came up with that way. I switched all my short content to clips only using keyboard, and I played keyboard and mouse on live stream whenever I went live. Speaking of my live streams, you guys were really there for me in those when I was switching to keyboard and mouse. And if anyone else wants to get in on my live stream experience, then make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss anything. So I was playing a live stream and I was playing the odd bit of Biozone Wars for shorts. This is when I really saw improvement. Playing Biozone Wars, just playing over and over again in between editing videos and getting clips for shorts, really made me get my binds down to a T. I started becoming a lot more precise and a lot less spammy. A key thing with me was just spamming buttons, and that's why I kept opening my loadout, but I stopped doing that after a while and it really helped. In the days that followed, I was a lot less spammy but still very inconsistent. I would have the best free build ever 1 minute, and then the next minute I wouldn't even be able to do a single edit. It was pretty rough, but I stuck at it. In a couple days after that, I then started 1v1ing some of my viewers. This went pretty well as it got me to practice on keyboard, and it got me to 1v1 some of you guys. All the maps I used to get better on keyboard are going to be in the description, guys, so go check them out. Anyway, after seeing how much playing with viewers was really helping my keyboard skill, I decided to start doing box fight and Biozone Wars with viewers as well. This was really fun as I got the community involved and I got a lot of practice in. I was honestly getting so much better in those couple days afterwards, and especially when doing box fights, things actually started to feel precise. There was a couple times where it felt completely natural to be on keyboard, and that's never happened to me before. I started winning more rounds against my viewers, and I also started getting better clips for my short content. 1 or 2 of the days I actually hopped on and I was feeling really bad because I had a couple days off previously, but I realised after a while that's just going to happen to anyone, and I need to not let it affect me and just focus up and carry on the grind from where I left off. During this long run of creating shorts content and playing with viewers, I managed to nail my first 2 triple edits in a row, miraculously learn a quad edit out of nowhere,
quad edit, bro, what am I doing, bro? What am I, hello?
have the best 1v1 round of my life on keyboard,
Maybe. How am I hitting a 200, man?
and that was just the start. In the last couple days of my 30-day challenge, I even attempted some zone wars. This is 32 player zone wars, and a lot of the sweats go into this. It was a big jump to go from 3v3 go goated in straight into this, but I think I managed it pretty well and actually managed to hit a couple really nice clips. Since I'm so inconsistent, the clips I was hitting were generally quite short, but when I get more consistent, the clips will start to get longer. Again, in the last couple of days, 3v3 Goated is now a sweep. I managed to win quite a lot of the rounds, and some of the rounds I'm bullying pretty much everybody, which makes pretty good short content, and that is showing in the views. If you are considering switching to keyboard and mouse, I would fully recommend it. I could not recommend it enough. It has taught me discipline, and it's taught me learning a new thing from scratch. And plus, if you already know the game on controller, you're going to build some muscle memory pretty quickly on keyboard. If you didn't want to switch to keyboard and you wanted to stick to the controller, this is how you can make the most of Fortnite Season 4 on controller and improve the most. Go give it a watch, it is a banger, trust me.